So in this class, we're looking at polygons. The first thing we need to know is, what is a polygon? A polygon is a closed 2D shape formed by straight lines that are connected at each endpoint. Okay, so what is a polygon? Okay, this is a definition of a polygon, and polygons have at least 3 sides. Okay, so a polygon has at least 3 sides. So let's analyze this definition. A polygon is a closed 2D shape. So if we have a 2D shape like this, can this be considered a polygon? The answer is no. The reason it cannot be considered a polygon is it is not a closed shape. There is a space here. So because there's a space here, this shape cannot be considered as a polygon, right? Because there's a space here. So for a shape to be considered as a polygon, first it must be a 2D shape and it must be closed. Also, it must be formed by straight lines, not curved lines. So if I have a shape like this, although this shape is now closed, but if you look at this line is a curved line. So the presence of this curved line disqualifies this shape from being called a polygon. For a shape to be called a polygon, first, it must be a closed shape. Second, it should be formed by straight lines. So instead of having this curved line, we should have a straight line. So when a 2D shape has straight lines, then that shape can be called a polygon. And these straight lines connect at their endpoint. So this is line 1, line 2, line 3, and line 4. Line 1 and line 2 are connected at this point. Line 2 and line 3 are connected at this point. Line 3 and line 4 are connected at this point. And line 4 and line 1 are connected at this point. So the lines are connected at their endpoints. So when you have a shape like this, closed shape, also made up of straight lines and are connected at their endpoints, then you can call that a polygon. So the next thing we need to know is, a polygon has at least 3 sides. So you can see that this polygon has 4 sides. So once a polygon has 3 or more sides, or once a 2D shape has 3 or more sides, it can be considered a polygon. So if I have a shape like this, this can be considered a polygon because it has 3 sides, 1, 2, and 3. So a polygon has at least 3 sides. So now let's look at the types of polygons. So polygons can be classified based on the number of sides it has. So you can classify polygons based on the number of sides the polygon has. So let's classify polygons based on the number of sides. So classification based on the number of sides. The first one is triangle. Triangle. A triangle is a polygon that has 3 sides. So 3-sided polygon. So a 3-sided polygon is called a triangle. The second, quadrilateral. A quadrilateral is a polygon that has 4 sides. So a polygon that has 4 sides is called quadrilateral. Next, pentagon. pentagon. The pentagon is a polygon that has 5 sides. Okay, so we'll just go quickly. Number 4, hexagon. So a hexagon is a polygon that has 6 sides. Six-sided polygon. Number 5, heptagon. A heptagon is a polygon with 7 sides. Number 6, octagon. An octagon is a polygon with 8 sides. Number 7, I'm going to squeeze this last 2. Nonagon. Nonagon is a polygon with 9 sides. And though there are still more polygons bigger than these, but we'll stop at 10-sided polygon, which is called decagon. Okay, so let's look at this. So all these are different types of polygon. Remember, this classification is based on the number of sides of the polygon. Okay, so there are 2 ways you can classify polygon. This is the first way. We have classified these polygons based on the number of sides. We cannot have a 2-sided polygon. So the smallest type of polygon is a 3-sided polygon called a triangle. A decagon is not the largest type of polygon. There are other types of polygon, but we're going to stop at this. Okay. So apart from classifying polygons based on the number of sides, you can also classify polygons based on the size of their angles. So let's classify polygons in the other way. So let's classify polygon based on the size of their angles. So classification based on the size of the angles. The first one is regular polygons. So regular polygons are polygons that have equal angles. So when you have a polygon where all the angles are equal, that polygon is called a regular polygon. So let's look at an example. If you have a triangle here, where this angle is 60 degrees, this angle is 60 degrees, this angle is 60 degrees. So this polygon is a regular polygon. So you can call it a regular triangle. The reason you're calling it a regular triangle is because all the angles are equal. So it's a regular triangle or a regular polygon. So since all the angles are equal, that will tell us that all the sides will also be equal. If you have a polygon in this form, so this is also a regular polygon. It has 4 sides, therefore it is a square. So when you look at all the sides being equal, most definitely all the angles are equal. So this is a regular polygon. All the angles will be 90 degrees. So when all the angles are equal, you have a regular polygon. So that means you can have a regular triangle, you can have a regular quadrilateral, you can have a regular pentagon. So remember, a pentagon is a polygon that has 5 sides. So a polygon can be a pentagon and also be a regular polygon, right? If the pentagon has all the angles equal to each other, then it is a regular pentagon. If an octagon has all its angles equal to each other, then that octagon is a regular octagon. Okay? So now let's continue. So we have looked at a regular polygon, which is a polygon that has each of the angles equal to each other. Irregular polygon. So an irregular polygon is a polygon that have unequal angles. An irregular polygon is a polygon that has unequal angles. So a polygon that has unequal angles is an irregular polygon. So if we have a triangle like this, so this is a triangle, but this triangle is an irregular polygon. This triangle is an irregular triangle. If we have another triangle like this, they are both triangles, right? They are both triangles based on the number of sides. So this has 3 sides, this has 3 sides. So they are both triangles. But this triangle is an irregular triangle. The reason is the angles are not equal. Therefore, the sides will not be equal. This is a regular triangle because all the angles are equal. So a triangle can be a regular triangle. A triangle can be an irregular triangle. A quadrilateral can be a regular quadrilateral. A quadrilateral can also be an irregular quadrilateral. Okay. So sometimes when you are given a question, you might be told a regular pentagon, a regular octagon. So what they simply mean is this particular octagon has equal angles. The size of each angle is equal. That's what regular octagon means. Okay. So let's continue. Now we'll be looking at simple questions that we can solve. Sum of angles in a polygon. Sum of angles in a polygon.